All right, y'all. What's up? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is when you watch this video. Just make it apply. This video is going to be packed with so much information, y'all. So all I can tell you is pay attention and take notes. It's up to you what you're gonna do. You know, because I like to teach people. I like to equip people with the knowledge and everything that they need to have in order to get unstuck. I don't like seeing people stuck. I don't like seeing people under curses. I don't like seeing people, that's just not me. I remember when I was in high school, I shared this story so many times. When I was in high school and elementary, I used to hate seeing people get bullied. I hated it with all of my heart, with all of my mind, with all of my soul. And I would purposely get into fights with the bully because I hated seeing people get bullied. I would bully the bully. I just could. I got so many whoopings, when I got home because I got suspended, all the time when I was in elementary and junior high. And my parents was like, you need to learn how to mind your own business. But I just couldn't. I was just like, this is injustice and I must put a stop to it now. And so I would just go over there, ah! And I got my butt whooped. I got my butt whooped. I remember one guy, he rubbed me the wrong way so bad that, he was really, bullying these people that I got off the bus. He was bus stops way further than my house. I got off the bus just to whip his ass. And I mean, this boy, he took off running. He took off running to his house, and I was running right behind him. And he ended up, getting in the house, and I'm, he just crazy mindset. I was crazy as a kid. I'm running around the house trying to find a way in, and I end up getting in the house from the window. And roaming around this house that I've never been in before, just so that I can find him and just tearing him up, So man, I was chaotic. I could not stand bullies. I just could not stand. I could not. It always rubbed me the wrong way. And so, now, it's just crazy. I find myself doing the exact same thing, but instead of doing it in the physical, I'm doing it in the spiritual. And so, this video, the beginning of this video is going to show you how to protect yourself. I've been telling you to go buy the candle from the dollar store. And, some of you are good at taking those instructions, but others of you need a video that you like. I hear you, but don't tell me what you're talking about. Show me what you're talking about. And I'm like, okay, I'll rise to the occasion. I will show you what I'm talking about, so that we can all do what we're supposed to do. I tried my best to fulfill my full name, to the fullest. My first name, which you don't know unless you really do know me, because I don't go by my first name. The meaning of it means fortress. And when I look at that, it really do reflect my life of how, I am that fortress that people come to. That, when you come, you get that, encouragement, that motivation, inspiration, empowerment, and hope. But the most important thing is that I like to teach people and equip them with the tools that they need in order to be able to survive and fend themselves on their own. To me, if I have clients where the client is keep coming back to me every month, they are, hey, I want to pay you to do this ritual. I want to pay you to do this ritual. To me, and a lot of spiritualists love that. They love a returning client because it brings them revenue. But my thing is, I'm not in this to get rich. In my daytime job, I'm the director of HR. I make plenty of enough money. My thing is in this is to help the people. Now, am I going to be using my own money to do somebody ritual? Heck no. They're going to have to come out of pocket themselves. I always charge reasonable that, I'm not coming out of pocket to pay for material, because sometimes, depending on what is needed, these materials can be expensive as hell. And so, no, I'm going to keep that responsibility on them. But I am the type that if I have to do a ritual without getting paid to do the labor, I'm willing to do that, for some people, especially if my discernment and everything is telling me that no matter what, you need to help this person. I have met with people where, they just didn't have the money. Like, they're under a curse, for crying out loud. Somebody is doing heavy witchcraft that is stopping their money and stuff like that. And some people will be like, okay, well, call me once you get that money. We good. Not me. I'm the type of person where it's like, I'm going to stay in here. I'm going to help you through this thing, and we're going to get this thing done. The main thing is just really giving you the tools and everything that you need in order to get through. The same thing with my middle name, which all you guys know me by, which is Rashad. Rashad is my middle name that I go by. Rashad means wisdom. And then my last name is son of the beautiful one. And so it definitely, fulfilling that name by, honoring God and doing my purpose. So I don't want this video to be too long, even though I say it and my videos are always long. But let's get into this. I want to show you guys, and this is for my clients as well, because, for both of them that I'm working with now, I'm going to send this to them because I want them to know how to do this shit the right way. And because I'm gonna send them home some stuff, and so I'm gonna send you home what you need, so you better do it. And then for everybody else, you can mix the materials and stuff yourself. Okay, so to give you the background, and this is going to be a channel message as well, but today, Spirit was like, teach these people how to, protect themselves, from witchcraft and all of this other stuff. I have one client that someone is doing magic on him, heavy magic, that he's actually is facing jail time for something that he really did not do, and so, he can be away for a while. And, that's one of the reasons why, he reached out to me. And then I have a, female client where someone is doing heavy witchcraft on her, that she has literally lost everything. And not only is it affecting her, but it's affecting her family as well, that her kids are even being affected. And so, we need to know basic things of how to protect ourselves. And I know a lot of people is going to say, oh, I'm just going to plead the blood of Jesus. Jesus is Lord, Jesus is King, and he going to be the one that saved me. I don't need to do all that. Okay, you don't have to do all that. And your household is going to be the main one that's going to be a black hole that's going to take away your joy, your love, your peace, your happiness. Because, at the end of the day, we got to understand the order of things. We got to understand that our ancestors is our first line of defense. Igun, which is the encompassing of all the dead. Spirit guides, which are the spirits that are assigned to you, because you have a purpose that's very similar to theirs, and so they're here to help and assist you. And then the ancestors, which is your bloodline, these three are on the plane with us. And that's why when we call on the ancestors, we can see fast results, because they're here. They're already walking among us. It's just veiled that we can't see it. And, some people have powerful spiritual gifts like mediumship and things like that they can see the spirits. And so, they are our first line of defense. And then it's above that, now you have your orishas, you have your deities. So whatever deity you call upon, whether it's Jesus, whether it's Cuban deities, whether it's the orishas, regardless, the deities are in like the heavenlies. And so it's another layer. And so, calling on the deities, calling on Jesus, calling on Obatala, calling on Yemaya, calling on Oshun, calling on, the great prophets in any religion, that you worship and see as a deity, it can take them a while to come down here. They literally have to release blessings from the heavenlies in order for you to get them, unlike your ancestors that are right here. And then now you take it up another notch. Imagine if you're calling on God, Oladumare, Olarum, and Olafi to vindicate you. Now that's even higher. And it's like now, I like when, certain Psalms where God even said that he got off his throne. And he mounted the clouds like a chariot, and he came down, to the earth. But it's like still at the end of the day, you not realize that process? And so it's like it can take a while for that deliverance, for that healing, for that for your situation to change. What are you going to do in the meantime? What are you going to do in the meantime now, since you have called out to God and God is going to pick this case up, but God is not going to be here for another 6 months? What are you going to do in the meantime to protect your energy and to protect your space? Because see, that's what we got to understand about spiritual support, is that we still must be on the battlefield doing what we're supposed to do, and they're just here that when they come in, it's done. But what are we going to do in the meantime while we wait for that help to come? It's like the war movies where it's like you're holding down the fort on the battlefield until all of your, legions of soldiers come in to rescue you, and they like, it's a wrap from there. But what are you going to do in the meantime? This is the importance of learning how to do some of these most basic things. I love a white candle because a white candle can substitute for any other candle. And so even if you don't know the colors associated, like if you were going for healing, it should be a blue candle. If it's love, you should get a pink or red candle. If it's, anything with meditation or something, it should be a blue candle. If it's about, returning negative energy and, stuff like that, it can be a gray or black candle. If it's about creativity, it can be an orange candle. Even if you don't know those things, you can always rest assured that as long as you got a white candle, you got the right candle. White is the substitute for everything, because white is a reflection of all colors. It reflects every last single color, just like black absorbs every single color. So we're gonna start with a candle. And so, so I have a client that is facing jail time, and then I have another client that is losing it all. And so the first thing that I did was I went by I still want them to do it in their town that they need a pinch, but here where I am, I went to the courthouse and I took dirt from the courthouse, because one of my clients have a court situation, as well as this ritual is going to be bringing in justice as well. So energy from the courthouse. I also took dirt, ashe energy from the police station. And then I also took dirt from a church, because churches is just known for holy ground. So the dirt from the church is more for purification and blessing the ritual. And then I took dirt from a library. Library symbolizes knowledge. It's the ashe of knowledge, with all the books that you can learn from there. That, not only do I want to be able to protect my clients, but I want them to be able to be knowledgeable. That, this ritual is going to bring them knowledge as well. So I'm just going to put that in the bowl. I'm going to put all my dirt. And also in this dirt, I put cinnamon and nutmeg. Cinnamon and nutmeg is really good as well. So I got my spices in here. You're going to learn that, powerful rituals, good, simple rituals, they require elements from all of the different elements. They require essence from all the different elements. So you have your earth. This is your earth element in here, while this is your fire element. And then you still have to do your wind element to pray over your candle. You got to tell your candle the intentions that, when this candle is lit, my client is going to be set free. That all negative witchcraft, all juju, all root work, everything that was sent to my client to destroy them, it will now be bound. It will now, have no power and no authority in their life. And only the intentions that my client set for themselves is the only thing that will be present in their life. Ashe. You got to speak. This is the wind element. So we have earth element, we have fire element, we have wind element. And we can even take it another step of doing the water element by getting some Florida water and wiping down the candle. And now you have water in here as well. I'm going to get all of my herbs. My herbs are going to be my sage for protection, rosemary, which is good for strengthening any spell. You have bay leaves in here, which is good. And then the rest is just a lot of bitter herbs. Whenever you want to bring something to you, is sweet. Whenever you want to rip something away, like negative energy and stuff like that, is all of your bitter herbs. So your rosemary, your thyme, your what else do your rosemary, thyme, sage. What is the other one I put in here? Because rosemary, thyme, and sage is good by itself. Cilantro, is in here. You'll be surprised. Cilantro I love on my tacos. But the spiritual components in it, it enhance any ritual, just like, rosemary. And so, you want as many bitter herbs as you can. Mint leaves is a good one. And so I'm just going to put that in here, and I'm just going to mix it all up. Let's get everything mixing. Elijah, bring me that nutmeg down there. It should be right by the it's right by the oven on the side where the air fryer is. It should be a thing of nutmeg that's open. And so my dirt and my herbs are mixed. It's time for us to protect ourselves. Because that's the one thing about it is that, whenever someone is doing witchcraft against us, it's never just at one time. Some people are doing it multiple times a day, that they're doing it in the morning, they're doing it in the afternoon, they're doing it in the evening, they're doing it when they think you're asleep, trying to play around with your dreams, doing magic on the moon cycle, trying to mess up your money, your image, that, closing doors, that you're going through sexual droughts, and all of this other stuff that they can see in your way. And so, yeah, you can come to me and other spiritualists that they can do, some really good rituals in order to, turn the tides, that everything will work back in your favor. But the thing is that once that energy goes back to sender, they're going to know that you're doing something to protect yourself. And so now, because of that, they're going to send you even more stuff. And sometimes the solution is not going to be keep going back and keep getting more and more rituals done, because it's like, what if the ritual that you got done was $600? Is every time this person returning this negative energy to you, you're going to keep paying, $600 over and over and over? That in itself is going to get you broke. And that's why when I do rituals for my client, I always do take-home stuff. They're all in class. I give them so much take-home stuff. I made both of them a jar, a protective jar, and I made both of them a protective box that you lay the box on, then you lay the jar on top of it, then they're gonna lay this candle on top of the jar. And it's going to bring so much protection and everything in the home. And so the candle, of course, I'm not sending them. This is work I'm doing for them here at the house. Their jar and everything is downstairs. And so since it's going to be a really good super moon tomorrow on the 8th, I want to, make sure that I'm doing stuff for them, that I'm getting this stuff done so that I'm doing the ritual here. So it's bringing them nothing but positive energy, that they're going to feel that shift in their life. And then especially with, in this ritual, I'm taking that tobacco smoke and, bringing them in blessings. So, but what I want to bring them is going to be this, that, they can watch this video and see how I did it. And so now the candle is going to last you for a week. You know, if anything, it's going to be maybe 4 to 7 days. And so, my instructions for them is going to be keep going to the dollar store and getting a white candle and lay that white candle over the jar in the box that I made you. And they're going to keep getting this mixture that I made for them, and they're going to keep addressing their candle. And so now, as people are keep doing all this spell work, they're covered because they did what they were supposed to do. That, these candles are going to be burning every single, normally I would say just burn it on Sunday, and when it goes out, it goes out. But when somebody is heavily doing witchcraft and stuff against you, no. Once you light this thing up, once you start, it needs to be a candle burning 24/7. The moment this candle go out, if it goes out in 4 days, you're gonna get you another candle and put it up there. Then you're gonna at least have to invest in purchasing 2 candles a week from the dollar store. They're $1.25, so it's not much of an investment. But that this candle is going to be burning 24/7, and that you have the herbs and everything to help you. So that as this person continue to send you, all types of stuff, you're covered. All you got to do is just do a really good pinch of everything, and boom. Now as your enemies are sending you stuff, they're wondering why it's not sticking. Because some of these people are crazy. Some of these people will stalk you on social media and everything, and they're going to be like, why is the spell not working? And little do you know, it's because you have somebody interceding for you. They're going to be like, I picked you out because I thought you didn't know what you were doing. I thought you didn't know how to send magic back. And they're trying to figure out why you're not destroyed yet. And little do they know, God sent somebody to intervene. God sent somebody to intercede for them. And now you have people interceding and praying for you. You have people interceding that's doing rituals and everything for you. People just don't realize you can't fuck with God anointed. Put this over there, and I'll put it downstairs. And so this is my little jar of herbs, all my herbs that I use for rituals. This is one of them. I have multiple trays because there's a lot of herbs that I use. I'm gonna put that to the side. So now there's other stuff in here, but the only thing I'm going to tell you is I want you to get some olive oil and some honey. Olive oil and honey, and hyssop is in here as well. That's the herb that's floating. If you can get some hyssop, please get it. If not, just the olive oil and honey. I know that's already in your pantry. Get some olive oil, honey, put it in a jar and shake it up. And we are going to anoint this candle. We're just going to do that. Get some olive oil and honey, and we're going to anoint this candle. And so see, when I say anoint the candle, that's all you're doing is just rubbing the wax. You're going to rub that wax. Get some good oil in there. Got that hyssop going. Got that honey. Got that olive oil. And then we're going to dress it with the herbs. All my herbs, my dirt mixture. I want to dress this thing really good. But remember, it's not too much. Not too much that is going to get in the way and interfere with the flame. And so that's how I want to dress it. Let me pause, and I can show you a good protective jar and box. But I'll do another video later for that. So it's going to be just like that. So now I have I taped this off for my clients because I don't want them this box is not supposed to be opened. So, and then now I have my, protective jar, as well. And then the candle is just going to go on top. And so, I'm going to do this for all my clients. And then, later, where is I think my cigars is already, I think they're upstairs. And so as I'm, praying to my deities, my ancestors, I'm going to be blowing tobacco smoke to bless, my clients, sending them good energy. So that is the first one. So now we can get into the reading. I will tell everyone, be careful trying to do magic on somebody, because you don't know who is protecting them spiritually, and you don't know who God is going to call to intervene and to step in and to help that person. So, you thinking the entire time you find so and so, and you like, I done investigated this person. I did divination, and it said that they don't know. They're not. They're not feeding their ancestors and stuff like that, so they're not protected and stuff. I didn't see an anointing on them. I looked up and down that page, and I noticed that they didn't know anything about spirituality and stuff like that. And so it's like, why is this not working? Why haven't I trapped them yet? Why haven't they lost this? Why haven't they lost that? Because God had another plan. You don't, you attacking this person and bringing all this negative energy into their life, and you don't even realize that the person that's attacking you back is not them. It's the person that God called to intervene for them. You better be careful. Just randomly doing this shit, trying to mess with God's people. God is gonna come, and then and then you can only imagine what's gonna happen once God actually come in. It's over with. People are gonna learn. People are going to learn to stop. Stop this nonsense. Stop trying to mess with God's people, thinking that you're gonna get away with this. Some of y'all just, y'all done let these niggas really get in y'all head. Y'all like, I'm a god, I'm a king. Okay, God and king. Okay. Okay, God and King. Let's okay. Let's see what God say about this when he come. Let's see if God gonna say you a God and King. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you're just so arrogant, all up in your pride. Thinking that you can just do whatever to people and make them vulnerable and make them your slaves, forcing wills upon them and things like that. Get the fuck up out of here. Some of y'all still not doing the shit that y'all supposed to be doing. And that's the whole purpose of this video. Some of y'all are just not doing what y'all supposed to be doing. Here we go. I'm gonna give y'all the message as it is. I normally like a covering over my head. I mean, hair is a covering, but let me. It's a hat right there. I don't know, y'all. I'm big on covering my head when I'm doing divination. Oh, let me get my. Just wait 1 minute. I forgot to pause it. So yeah, I'm big on, like, I try to protect myself. I'm like, look. All right, so y'all are in deep regret. Deep regret. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Wish it played another different way. Somebody is in deep regret. You're in depression. You're in sadness. And you are not realizing that the rest of these cards are saying that God is getting ready to bless you, but you're so down. Yep. And you have the Seven of Pinnacles, which talks about long-term vision, and it talks about hard work, perseverance. It talks about being diligent. It talks about investment, and you have it paired with the Chariot card, which talks about movement. Your, you know, your long-term vision and your vision and movement is being affected right now because you're in such deep regret. That you're in such deep regret that you keep crying over spilled milk. Okay, look, we know somebody is doing witchcraft against you. We know that life is not the best right now. We know that this is the testing of your faith. We know. And it's like I'm not trying to be, a jackass and not trying to be sympathetic to what it is that you're going through, but this is not the time to cry. This is the time to fight. This is the time to say you fucked with the wrong person. You're like, this is the time to get up and fight. Defend yourself. This is not the time to keep regretting. Keep regretting, oh, I should have never let this person in my life. No. Pray. Give thanks. Pray. God, turn this thing around. It's going to work in my favor every single day. I thank you for it. I thank you for it. I thank you for it. I thank you that everything is in my favor. And then as your candle is lit, recite the Psalms. Lord, how many are my foes? How many rise up against me? Many are saying God will not deliver me. But you, Lord, are a shield around me, my glory, the one who lifts my head high. I call out to the Lord, and he answers me from his holy mountain. I lie down to sleep, I wake again, because the Lord sustains me. I will not fear, though tens of thousands assail me on every side. Arise, Lord, deliver me, my God. Strike all my enemies on the jaw. Break the teeth of the wicked. From the Lord comes deliverance. May your blessings be on your people. Ashe. You call on those things. This is not the time to just stay depressed. What is the goal? Stay depressed and down the entire time until God come? By the time God comes, if you're not careful, you're going to end up being drowned by the water. You're going to end up being burned by the fire. You're going to end up being taken out by the wind. It's like, no, stand your ground. And then after you have done all that you can, that's when you stand in the ashe of God. That is when you stand in the power of God. But we gotta stop going through these things. Even the Hermit card is another stuck energy. We gotta stop going through these things. Trust me, I get it. I'm going through spiritual attacks myself. But this is not the time that I'm about to give up. This is not the time that I'm about to say, you know what? Oh, I just throw in the towel because they're too powerful. It can be 1,000 of you that is fighting against little old me. And I'm going to stand on the word that 1,000 will fall by your side, 10,000 by your right hand, but it shall not affect you. That's what I'm going to stand on. I'm going to stand on greater is he that is within me than he that is within this world. That is what I'm going to stand on. I'm not going to stand in this depression and this sadness and saying, woe me. I'm going to say, okay, look, all my spiritual team, y'all need to sit the fuck down and y'all need to join this meeting. Like, ancestors, I need you to put a fence around me right now. Let none else penetrate through. Ancestors, I need you to give me knowledge and wisdom on what it is that I need to be doing in the physical in order to change the tides and to cleanse me. Angels, I need you to hover around and I need you to attack my enemies. Elegwa, Eshu, I need you to close the doors in every last one of my enemies' lives that they will not be able to send anything else to me. Ogun, I need you to disrupt their path. Oya, I need you to blow a powerful wind and destroy every last one of my enemies. Gnash their teeth. Make them fall into the pit that they had dug for me. This is not the time. This is not the time for you to just woe me. This is the time for you to fight. This is the time for you to ascend. This is the time for you to do what you have been studying and learning all throughout this time. It's time for you to stand in your faith. It's one thing to read about it. It's one thing to put it into practice. Crossing energy, you have the 9 of Cups that a wish is getting ready to be fulfilled. A wish is getting ready to be fulfilled, but for some of you, this is still not enough encouragement for you. This is still not enough motivation for you because you like, I'm tired of hearing it. Everybody keep telling me I'm blessed. Everybody keep telling me things gonna work out. Everybody keep telling me this. When is it gonna come? When is it gonna come? It's gonna come when you decide to fight. It's gonna come when you decide to put in some energy. You know, at the end of the day, we all know that God do not work on our time, and God comes when he fucking wants. And the one thing that we have all learned about God is that God is going to come in at the very last minute, and he's going to show out. And until that time come, we need to take arm and defend ourselves. What is the clarifiers for the 9 of Cups? Because the saying of wish is going to be fulfilled. Temperance. You got the temperance in reverse. It talks about imbalance. It talks about excess. It talks about extremes. It talks about overindulging. It talks about alcoholism. It talks about addictions. And then you have it paired with the 9 of Pinnacles in reverse, which talks about self-worth. It talks about living beyond your means. It talks about being obsessed with work. It talks about false success. It's saying, look, the 9 of Cups is going to come in, and it's going to end up giving you a wish fulfillment. But until this time come, you have to stop with the toxic things that you're doing. Because, number one, you got to understand your worth throughout it all. Just because you are being tested, just because someone is attacking you, it doesn't take away your worth. It doesn't. Look at how loved David was, and look how he got attacked by every single side. You know, when God told him that he was going to be the second king, look at all the shit he went through because Saul wasn't ready to get rid of that anointing. Can David now look on that and say, well, because Saul is attacking me, I'm not worthy? That this is God's punishment? That God is saying that, oh, I'm not going to never measure up to, that I'm never going to measure up to Saul? No. That's just a crazy ass man that's not ready to let go of his anointing, but is going to get stripped away anyways. You got to learn how to put things in the right perspective. You got to stop doing this woe me and this self-sabotaging behavior of saying, now since this stuff is happening to me, I must have done something wrong. You know, why convince yourself, why convince your conscience of something that your conscience is not revealing to you? Then if it was really you, your conscience would have revealed it to you right now, and it would have said, okay, you know, bitch, you messed up on that one. You know, because of that, you're going to end up getting the consequence for it. But if your conscience is not telling you that, which is linked to Ashe, then why convince yourself of a narrative that Ori is not telling you, which is your soul, nor is Ashe telling you, so that yin-yang power source inside of you is not telling you any of the stuff that you're making up, but yet you still want to push this false narrative. And now it's making you go into crazy addictions that you could be, you know, jacking off all day. You could be, you know, watching TV all day and neglecting your responsibilities. You're drinking all day. You're fucking random people all day. All these things because you don't want to wait. That's when it's in the upright. You want to self-sabotage. You want to throw pity parties. You want to, why? Not realizing that a blessing is coming. You don't want discernment, which is when it's in the upright. You want not knowing your worth right now, that you want to keep beating yourself up over something that you had no control over. No control over. You're not the reason why things are going in the directions they're going. If they were, I would have told you. I am not afraid to deliver a bad message. My goal is to deliver the message that universe is telling me to deliver. If it so happened to be bad, then oh well. It's not my job to deal with it. It's yours. But you want to throw yourself a pity party. You want to keep doing all these crazy things because you want to throw yourself a pity party, not realizing that the 9 of Cups is here and all you got to do is wait. Do you not realize that in some of these things you can push back your blessings? That you can indulge so much in some of these things of trying to escape from this reality that you end up pushing back your blessing. Because now it's like God is coming in to bless, but look at you. You too busy indulging in things that you don't even see that the blessing is here. You have in your challenge position, you have the Ace of Wands, which is saying God is getting ready to give you a new beginning. There's going to be some inspiration that's going to come in, and it's going to help you when it comes to your willpower. It's going to help you when it comes to your destiny. You have for the clarifier for it, you have the Six of Swords, which is the Six of Swords. It talks about change. It talks about leaving behind and releasing. And so you're going to end up leaving something behind, and hopefully the thing that you're going to leave behind is this this pity party, personality where it's just like, woe me, I want everybody to feel sorry for me. It's like, baby, work it out. We're all going through things. Everybody can't keep hearing your problems when they're going through their own things too, because they like, okay, can you shut this shit up? Like, what are you going to do about it? And that's one of the reasons why I give my clients homework. I never want them to rely on me and me alone doing all of the work. It's like, no, not only do you need to do the work as well, but you need to learn this thing so that the next time you won't even need me at all. You know exactly what it is that you need to do. God. You have the Eight of Pinnacles in the Eight of Pentacles in the challenge position, and it's saying that you're not putting in hard work. That some of you could be. Listen, I remember. It's another story time. I remember when I first started out, when I was around 17, 18 or whatever. I remember having a conversation with God, and I was just telling God, talking to my ancestors and everything, and I was like, why is it every time I say something negative, it happens, but every time I say something positive, like I'm gonna be a millionaire, it never happens? And I remember them telling me so clearly, and just you could hear it as plain as day. And they just told me, they said, because when you say those negative things, you believe them, but when you say those positive things, you really don't believe it. You're just saying it. Those are just empty words. And that's why, the negative always come to be, but the positive never does, because you really don't believe it. Some of you could be doing the work. You're doing the things that I'm telling you to do, that you're doing the candles and stuff like that, but it's a routine and it's not activating your faith. That you just go to the candle and it's like, oh, it's lit. Lord, how many are my foes? How many rise up against me? Oh, let me take a nap. Many are saying God will not defeat. No, it's never going to happen like that. You got to be able to really understand what it is that you're saying. I remember that I used to always say, it was one scripture I used to always say, when 2 or 3 people are gathered together in the name of Jesus, whatever they ask for, it shall come to pass. And I was keep saying it and saying it and saying it. And then one day, Ashe just rose up and was like, do you understand what it is that you're saying? Do you understand that it's saying that when you touch and agree with someone else and you both are on one accord, that anything that you ask for, it shall come to pass, that the heavens will open and will bless you. And, for a scripture that I was keep saying every single day, it had no power until it resonated with me. Until that day where it resonated and I was like, okay, I get the assignment. And I'm like, grab. Our faith and intentions is together. And I'm like, we finna pray this thing out. And that's when I was able to see so much change. But it's like, you got to understand what it is you're saying. If you're just saying it to be saying it because Rashad told you to say it, or because your pastor, your priest told you to say it, it's not going to manifest anything. It's the moment that you attach your faith to it and you actually believe what it is that you're saying. When you believe that Lord, how many are my foes? How many rise up against me? Many are saying God will not deliver me. But you, Lord, are a shield around me, my glory, the one who lifts my head high. When you believe that, when you believe that he's your shield, the one that lifts your head high, things are going to change. Because now you're not just saying it, you believe it. And when you believe it, that's when your enemies is going to fear. Because now they know that you have allowed that faith that was dormant is now active. And it's when that faith is active that they're scared as shit. They're scared. They don't want to be in your presence. When you make those dormant gifts inside of you active, that's when your enemies fear you. That's when they fear you the most. But it's saying right now, you're not giving it to them. Six of Pinnacles. You're not giving it to them because you're not putting in any hard work right now. You need to get up and you need to decide to fight. And like I said, my thing is I would have the candle lit on a daily basis. You're too amazing. You're too amazing to follow everyone else. Forge your own path. That's what I'm trying to tell them. You're too amazing to allow people to come in with their witchcraft and they force a will on your life that is not the will of God. That is not the will of your heart. And it's like you're too amazing to just sit here and just keep willy-nilly allowing people to do whatever the fuck they want in your life. No, it's time for you to get back in the driver's seat and take charge of this and kick everybody else out their car and say, I'm the only one that's going to decide what's good for my life, not nobody else. You must forgive if you want. You must forgive if you want to be free. Do it for yourself. Forgiveness is key. Part of you haven't forgave because you haven't even started the healing process. You're still crying over spilled milk. You're crying over spilled milk while at the same time a blessing is trying to come in. Imagine what's going to happen if both of these two energies are present at the same time. That's the one thing about the overall energy and the crossing energy. They fight to be present. But imagine if both of these energies was present at the same time. That you get a wish fulfilled, so you get a blessing, but then you get a blessing and you're still crying over spilled milk. So let's just say this blessing is prosperity. And you were blessed financially that, all your bills and everything can be paid. If you're still crying over spilled milk, you're going to end up, let's just say this morning came from a partner. That means when you get that financial blessing, because this person is still in your energy, when this person comes back, you're just going to give them all the money and be back in the same predicament. Because you never got rid of this person. You never started the healing process. You never forgave because you're still crying over spilled milk. That's the one thing about it. When we don't forgive and we don't heal, that we allow people to stay in our energy. And the more people are allowed to stay in our energy, we're not releasing them. Their presence in our life actually becomes stronger. Even though you are saying and confessing with your mouth, oh, fuck this person. They ever try to come back, I'm going to hit them with a trash can. I'm going to hit them with a bat. I'm going to knock them out unconsciously. And then as soon as this person came, well, I just got some money. Coming in. Did you want to talk about this over crab and lobster? Of course. Because this person was never out of your energy. You never released them. You were just crying over them. And now, since God switched things around in your life, that blessings are able to come in, you're allowing the demon to come back. You never let him go. Blessings coming in, and the first thing you want to do is bless the enemy. Is bless the person that caused the predicament. What you gonna do for me? Besides trying to destroy my life again. What you gonna do for me? Cards at the bottom of the deck. You have the 8 of Wands. It talks about fast speed. You have the Star card, which the Star card is hope and inspiration. And you have the Queen of Cups, which the Queen of Cups, it talks about compassion. It talks about healing. I love the Queen of Cups energy. The Star card to me right now is being seen as a deity that quickly, some of you are getting ready to get an encounter, that you are getting ready to be face to face with a deity, whatever that deity is. It can be Elegwa, it can be Eshu, Ogun, Ochosi, it could be Muhammad, it could be Jesus, it could be, whatever it is that you believe in. But some of you are getting ready to get a physical encounter that you are going to be able to see the star face to face, which the star right now is being represented as a deity. It could be represented as your ancestors. But somebody is getting ready to have a spiritual encounter that is going to end up, whether it's going to be in the dream world, that you're going to have a powerful dream of you talking to this deity and they're going to give you inspiration and hope, or whether it's you, whether it's the you wake up and then the next thing you know, you wake up and you still think you're dreaming because because that what happened to me before, that you wake up and you think that you're dreaming, and it's just like a heavy cloud in your place, and a figure come out and start talking. I don't know how it's gonna be, but I definitely know that some of you are getting ready to get a spiritual encounter. So that's going to end up giving you a different perspective and the healing that you need. So stop crying over spilled milk. Like, you got to stop allowing yourself to get into this depression. Stop allowing yourself to get into this depression, and you got to stop allowing yourself to get into this depression. You really got to stop. Wish fulfillment has come. A blessing from the heavens is getting ready to come, and the only thing you got to do is hold the fort down until God come here and bless you. Stop focusing on what you do not have any control over. Stop focusing. We know your bills need to be paid. We know it. We know your car need to be paid. We know it. 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 Hold down the fort. You gotta choose to fight. Nobody can do this thing for you. Hold down the fort. Let me see, what is the last message that Spirit want to give? Because blessings are on the way. Only thing Spirit is telling you to do is hold down the fort. That was the Nine of Cups trying to come out again. But let's see, is it gonna... Ooh. I like this. The Fool card, it talks about a new beginning. The Fool card is jumping into something blindly. The one thing about the Fool card is like a kid that, you jumped in without knowing all of the information. You jumped in without, it's just like, somebody was like, today we get to have pool time, and you, boom, jumping in the pool. Didn't even stay and listen to the rules. Didn't even stay where the person was just like, hey, we can only stay for an hour. You guys have to put on this special equipment because it's cold as I don't know what in there. And now you just jumped in and now you're freezing. Now you like, why didn't nobody tell me? Because you didn't stay to listen. That's the energy of the Fool card. It said that somebody just jumped in. It just randomly jumped in, didn't listen to all the rules, just unpredictable, just jumped in and just blindly did something. And, God is saying, the Queen of Swords, this is the thing that's making God give judgment. This is the thing that's making God give judgment, that God is going to make an unbiased decision, and God is going to make an unbiased decision on this person that's being represented as the Fool in your life. That somebody just jumped in and they did something that, whether they jumped in, didn't know you from Dan or anybody else, and they just jumped in and started doing magic on you. Or they jumped in to try to ruin your marriage. They jumped in to ruin your finance. They jumped in to ruin your image. you know, that they unpredictably just jumped in, not knowing anything. And it's saying that there's going to be a judgment for that. Horrifying. God is going to be in the building. God is about to be in the building. But what are we going to do in the meantime? What are we going to do in the meantime? How are we going to protect ourselves? Tell me collectively. Are we just going to sit back in that nonchalant energy of what this thing is talking about? Are we just going to sit back in this nonchalant energy and just say, "Oh, I'm just gonna wait on God. I'm just gonna plead the blood of Jesus every day. I'm not gonna do anything else. I'm just gonna plead the blood of Jesus and everything every single day, and not do nothing. I'm not gonna do my work. I'm not gonna do my work. I'm not gonna do nothing." What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Tell me. Are we gonna defend ourselves? Or are we just gonna look crazy and stupid and just keep whining and saying God is a deliverer. Jehovah gonna save me, honey. That's what we're gonna do, huh? Or are we gonna take these tools and we're gonna fight? You tell me. Easy things we can do. Easy. And then this is the thing that I don't get about some of y'all. Some of y'all will go overseas and pay a priest $10,000, and then I can walk you through what you can do, and it will cost you less than $20, and you're like, "Nah, I don't feel like that's a lot of hard work. That's a lot of hard work. I don't want to do that." Of course, that's how we are. That's how we are. We need to do the work. Somebody got to do it. Somebody got to do this work. It's time to stop. Time to stop crying over spilled milk, and it's time for us to do the work. I'll show you how to do a love candle, maybe on the next video, but I'll just show you how to do a love candle. I'll show you how to do a money candle. You know, maybe every channel video, I'll show you something different that you can be doing spiritually to protect yourself and to bring in what you desire. But you got to do the work. There's no point in knowing the knowledge if you're not going to do the work. Oh, all right, y'all.